Jesse, ready? Go. Hey, what's up guys? Joseph Sakar here from Creative Piano Academy. Just out walking the dog. I wanted to talk a little bit about the most important asset that we all have as pianists. Without these, we're just not playing. Simple as that. They dictate how fast we can play. They dictate like our sound that we get out of the piano. Just everything hinges around these. I am of course talking about our wrists. Without these, we're just not playing piano. Okay, point taken. But for us mere mortals, they're super important. So I'm going to show you 4 wrist loosening exercises that you can use before you start those all-important practice sessions. But first, I need to find somewhere to pin this camera up so I can show you. Give me a sec. What have I spotted over here? Oyster mushrooms. It used to be one of my favourite places to come this, just chill out, clear the mind, meditate a bit, relax, but it's been overrun with the rubbish recently. It's not good. Alright, this will probably do. So, I've got a few comments on YouTube, a few via email, talking about wrist pain. You're getting a bit of pain when you're trying these exercises. I think it's really important to point out that there's 2 different kinds of pain here. The first pain is when we are pushing our comfort zone, okay? When we're practicing these exercises and you get to a point where your muscles are under fatigue, and that's the adaptation process, and that's when your wrists get better actually. So it's important not to take that too far, but a little bit of pain in that respect is not a bad thing, okay? When you wake up the next day, you'll find your wrists are a bit stronger, you can play a bit faster, all that good stuff. Hello. What are you doing? You're interrupting my video. The second kind of pain is where we haven't really loosened up those wrists enough, and it might be a little different kind of pain, a bit sharp. So these 4 wrist exercises are going to be perfect to loosen those wrists up before you start those practice sessions, particularly the intense practice sessions that you can find in my new course, Creative Practice Routines, link in the cards. The last thing to mention here is I am not a doctor, okay? So make sure that you don't if you feel serious pain, don't use these exercises, consult a doctor first. I got these exercises from an old martial art class I used to go to where we used to flip each other around by wrists, and it was super important to make sure those wrists were well stretched before we used to do that. So they're not traditional exercises, but I've used them, shown my students, perfect for loosening those wrists before you start your practice session. Alright, so exercise number 1. We're going to hold our wrist up like this, and then this is my right hand, and I'm going to grab it with my left. I'm going to put the palm of my left hand down onto the back of my right hand, like this, okay? So you see that? Then I'm going to curl my wrist underneath, curl my fingers underneath that wrist, and all I'm going to do is just lift it up like this. So you see I'm putting pressure on the back of the palm, the back of the right wrist, and I'm just going to pull that up like this, okay? Okay, so we'll do that 3 times, so just 1, 2, 3. You see that motion where I just bring my elbows down, my wrist forms that, and I put the pressure on. The opposite to that, so this is exercise number 2, we're going to take the palm of our left hand, put it onto the palm of our right, and this time we're going to bring it the opposite way, okay? So if I go to the side, it looks like this. So you see how it's the wrist here is being pulled back. So I go 1, like that, 2, and 3, like this. Okay? So those are the first 2 exercises. So notice how we're going in different opposite motions. We're starting off like this one. So that's 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3, like that. Okay? The next 2 exercises are slightly more complicated. So exercise 3, we will we'll get our right hand, turn it around like this. Okay, so our palm is facing out. Then with our left hand, 2 ways you can grip. We can grip it the whole lot, so our fingers go under the thumb as well. I tend to just use my, I tend to forget about the thumb, just use the palm here. So if I just come a little bit closer, you can see this. Fingers underneath there, thumb over the top. And then we bring it up, sort of shoulder height, and just pull back. And when we pull back, like this, we end up with a stretch of the wrist going this way, okay? It stretches this way. So here we go 1, 2, 3, like that, okay? Comes from the side. So palm out like this, grab here, and then I just pull in 1, 2, 3, and you should feel a really nice stretch on the wrist, okay? The opposite to that, so exercise 4, the other way. So instead of like this, we're going to bring it around and twist it this way. and we're going to grab this part of the palm here with our fingers. So our fingers grab this part of the palm. Thumb sort of locks into the, if I come around this side, the thumb locks to this part of the little finger here. And all I do is, you see I've got that twist, that lock on here. I just push out. 1, 2, and you should feel a really nice stretch here. 1, 2, 3, okay? Ugh. Yeah. So there we go, that's exercise 4. That one again, just from a few angles. I turn my left hand out like this, thumb onto the little finger here, or just the joint of the little finger, fingers wrapped around the thumb, and I get the stretch on just by pushing out. There's no real wrist turning here. I'm not putting any tension into the wrist. I'm just keeping the wrist really loose, and I'm just pushing out like this. 1, 2. My arm just pushes out. Okay, so recap. We've got 1. This is exercise 1, and then the opposite, exercise 2. Okay, where we push it outwards like this. Exercise 3, where we pull in. Okay, we pull in, and exercise 4 is where we push out. So we've got 2 sets of exercises with contrary motion in there, and then we do it on the left hand as well. So the left hand is exactly the same. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and then this way. So again, 1, 2, 3, and then same thing. Pull towards us. 1, 2, 3, and then away from us. 1, 2, 3, like this. Okay. So there we go, guys. 4 exercises to really loosen up those wrists. This shouldn't take you longer than a minute, maybe a minute and a half to do before you actually sit down and practice. I would say do 2 sets on each side, and you're done. And by a set, I just mean 1. So let's go from the beginning. 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That's 1 full cycle round. Do another cycle on the right, and then do 2 cycles on the left. Shouldn't take you longer than a minute. Sit down, and away you go. What are you doing? Are you interrupting my video again? Hey? Look at that smile. She knows. Okay, guys, really hope you've enjoyed that. Hope that's helped. Shove them into your practice routine and see how you get on. Especially if you're a little bit older and your wrists are a little bit more fragile, this could really help you out. But make sure that you don't go too extreme with it. And if it really hurts, consult a doctor. Go to creativepianoacademy.com for my latest premium resource. It's called the Best Adult Piano Practice Plan, so you can start taking control of those practice sessions. Like the video if you liked it, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.